Hello guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is Vishal. In this video, I'll show you how to model this knife model in the Blender software. I used very traditional modeling techniques and the power of Blender, and I made this knife model as easy as possible. So without getting further delay, let's get started into the video. To start with, I have got the general scene. I can go to the file, new, and then choose the general, where you have the default cube and then some light and camera. I get rid of them, and then I would like to load the reference image in the top view. To switch to the top view, you can click on the Z button here, or you can press 7 on the keyboard, just like that. And once that is done, you can press Shift A and then go to the image, and then you have the option called background. So I would like to browse the image here. So I have got that nice knife reference image here. I'm loading that. This image can be scaled with the scale tool if required. You can also go to this particular section and then start controlling several aspects of this image. You have options which are very specific to the size, the offset, and also we have the opacity option where you can make it slightly transparent and then don't make it look too bright or strong in terms of modeling. In terms of models. So here I've got the image plane on the backdrop, and we also got the cube. So I would like to merge down this into a point by pressing tab and then press M. Tab switches that into the component mode. I'm right now in the vertex component mode. I press M and then merge to the center, and then press G, and you should be able to see there's a point here which can be seen. I press G and then I started moving from here till there, and that's where I start building up this overall model. So I can use the control right click option to extruding those points. Don't put too many points here. Just start placing this too far from each other. That's really important. And then make sure that these points are parallel to each other. Okay. And then start working on those points by just filling them. So I select these last 2 points and then press M and then merge to the center. And then again place it nicely. Now here you should be able to see there are a couple of points here. So I can select these 2 points and then use a tool called subdivide, which will add additional point there. And once that is done, select these 4 points, 1, 2, 3, 4 points, and then press F, and then that adds up this face here. You can press Ctrl R and then click there and then add a point, add a loop, and then start adjusting to the reference there like that. So you can start adjusting the points to build up the flow here. So I'm going to press F to fill those points there. So you keep selecting those points and then start filling them. And the last 2 points, once we select them and press F, that fills to the next set of points. So you need not select the 4 points there like that. Instead, just select these 2 points on the side where you have additional points there. It will start filling those points, and then it fills the overall geometry, and that's how easy it is to create this particular patch. You can always use this. So here I've got a triangle. I press Ctrl R and then just click there, and then that also adds a point there. Select the point and then start moving it. You should be able to see this ends up making a quad there instead of a triangle. So once that is done, we can start extruding those points here. You can use the edge component and then control right click to extrude the edge. That is one way. You can also extrude using the extrude method, that is select that edge, press E, and then that also extrudes the points. So there are a couple of ways where you could generally start building these points like that. So I just use any of these methods. So I can select this point. I should be able to see control and then right click, that adds up those points, and then select those points and press F. Okay, then that fills those points there. So extruding edge or filling the points, anything would generally do. So I select this particular point and then control right click and then start adding those points to match the reference. We need to add a lot of lines as we go further into the model. So let me select these 4 points and press F on the keyboard and then start filling those points there. And then it keeps building up those points like that. And once that is done, you can select this edge here. I can select that edge and then press E, that extrude those points till there, and then press G and then press Ctrl R and then add the points. So you should be able to see I've not compromised in terms of triangles here. maybe sometimes that is acceptable, but here luckily I didn't have any issues. Okay, now the major outline and the flow has been built. Now I need to respect those crease lines where the sharpness of this blade can be clearly seen. So I'm going to select these lines here, okay, and then press Ctrl B and then drag it, and then add lines there. I can scroll my mouse wheel and then add lines. So I want only 3 lines at this particular point. Now I start selecting these points, these edges here, like that, through the length. This might end up adding some modeling artifacts, but it's okay. Then I start adding 3 lines there again. So Control B and then add those lines there. So anytime I'm adding these lines, like in this case 3 lines, if I stop it here, it may end up giving this kind of mesh, but here I extended it forward. So in that case, I can generally select those points and then start making them dissipate, or just make it loose there, so you don't get that sort of crease lines at those points. So if you got any triangles and all, you can start fixing those triangles and all that. Now before I fix those points, okay, let me just select these points, delete the faces, and those points are gone. And then I select those points and then fix it like that. So yeah, here as you could see, there's some issue again. So I should have extended it all the way down. So I use the dissolve edges tool, press K for bringing the knife tool, and then add those lines forward. And I'm just adding it more far, and then select those lines and then start tracing the outline like that. Keeping them at an equalized distance is more important. Okay, so I press 2 and then bring it up. Actually, this line should be here, maybe some issue with the illustration itself. I just select those and then extrude it, move it to the edge there. I feel that there's some design issue. So yeah, this looks good at this particular point, and then you should be able to figure out which one is going to be more thick. So I'm going to select all these points and then pull it up, and then that gives the thickness. Okay, now imagine if I just move this, and then do we face any issues in terms of creases are concerned. So before you proceed further, just try to recheck it. Okay, so if not, that's perfectly okay. So here I can use the knife tool and then start adding those lines at this particular corner. Okay, so that added a line on the edges. The triangle can be fixed by pressing M and then merge to the center there. So I keep going along the edge here. So knife tool and then start adding those lines. So I pressed F to connect those 2 points actually. So here we got a triangle. I'm using the merge tool to merge it to the center. So I got that crease edge when I extrude this blade for thickness further down. So I need to do that along these borders also. So I press K for the knife tool, or you can use this Control R for adding the loop. And then that adds up a line to the border there. Now I need to check how this line is going all the way to that particular corner. I press K and then connect those lines, and then you should be able to see 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, there's no problem in terms of quads and all that are concerned. Okay, so let me select all these points here. Okay, so once that points are selected, I press G and then press Z, and then adds that thickness like that. So how much you want to add, you can add. So I keep it way thick in terms of requirement. So let's see that how this is going to be. So I press 7 and then see there is some sort of issue here. So I'll just go a few steps back, and then I press Control R and then add a line here. Okay, press Ctrl R, and then you should be able to see this line is going in the middle of the blade. That's I want, but here the way it's connecting there is what the major area of concern. But let's click and then add that line there. Now this should be connected somewhere here. So I'm going to select these lines and then dissolve the edges. Okay, and then dissolve the edge, dissolve the edge. So dissolve edge is not working, so I'm deleting the edge, and then there are lines and dissolve vertices. Okay, now I press K and then start connecting those points, and then select okay, this line is going to add the thickness. So here we ended up in a triangle. So press Ctrl and R, then you get these points, and then that is a quad now. Now why do I have to add this? Let me just actually undo these 2 points. Okay, now let me select all these points again. Now press G and Z and then move it up. Now this line is adding thickness, so I need to select this line and then press G and Z and then move it out of the way. So that gives a slope in this particular blade. And here there is some issue, so I need to select those points. Okay, and then you can select this move tool from here, snap option, and then absolute grid snap, and then snap it there. That's one thing. I press Ctrl R, add those lines, and then select those lines there, and then slightly move it inside. So I just switch off the snap option and then just dip those points like that. So you should be able to see now I've got this blade here with some thickness in the middle and gradually sloping down here. You could see it's gradually becoming thin. Now what's left in this particular model is the bridging of this thickness on this side and on the opposite side. But how do I do that is okay, one thing I would like to do is I select this edge, okay, and then delete dissolve edge here, and use dissolve edge. Now I'll add the loop here, which will generally respect the slope of the blade. So that's one thing which actually makes the model more better in this corner of the model. Okay, so all corners got their lines. Here there is a place, again I need to add this line here. That looks cool at this point. Now what I'm going to do is I will use the mirror modifier in the modifier section. So I just press mirror and then click the mirror and then choose the Z axis so that you get the blade on the both sides. Earlier this blade was not there on the bottom side. Okay, so I just added this mirror in the Z axis, as you could see. Okay, so once that model has been mirrored, now you also have the option called merge, which is going to merge this border vertices. And just go to this particular option and then say apply. The mirror is gone and it become one piece now. Now I press tab and then press 1, and then you got the vertices, right? So what you need to do is select those 2 points up on the upper side 2 and the bottom side 2, press F. Then select these 2 points and then start pressing F, and then it starts filling those model. Okay. Now I select these 2 points and then press F, and then it starts filling this side also. So this tool is really fantastic in terms of building this model. So press Ctrl R and then add those line in the middle. So now if I press Ctrl 3, which is going to add the subdivision modifier, and then you should be able to see this blade now, which has got that crease line here, the crease line there. So wherever as per my reference is suggesting. So this material is very soft, but if you add a decent material, you could able to see those crease clearly. So the idea of building the handle is also very similar to what I have done here for the blade part. If you find any bit of artifacts here, I mean any issues with the outline matching, then you could generally move and fix it. There's no big deal in it. Just selecting those points and moving will generally help you. So let's get started with the handle part. So again, I use the same technique as I told. I press Shift A then go to the cube, and then once the cube is created, I press tab and I get into the vertex mode, and then press M and then merge to the center, and then using the G I start placing those points here. So I press G and then start putting that at the corner here. I need to just hold control right click and then start placing those points with the reference there. Okay, once that is done, select those points and press F, and then start selecting these 2 points, F, 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 and then you start getting those shapes. I press Control R and then add a line in the middle, and then make this roundness here for this model. So this is the thickest part of the handle, and then it slowly tapers down into this shape. So what I need to do is I need to extend those points here. Okay, so I select these 2 edges and press E, and then I get those lines like that. Okay, so select that one and then press E, and then press 1 for the vertex mode, and then press G for the move tool, and then start placing those points at that level. You can press Control R and then select those point and then match the outline here. Okay, so I will select these edges here. Okay, and press E and then pull it down there, and then select the vertex points by pressing 1, and then start making those contours, I mean the outlines matching with the vertex points here. Okay, so I select these last 3 points and then press F to fill those shape. Now here I select this particular edge here, press Ctrl B and then drag it, and then I can add lines there if needed. So select this line and then right click and then choose this edge slide tool here, and then put it there like that. Now whenever I have this corner, I need at least 3 points there. Okay, so one more thing is I would like to add a few lines actually. So I right click and then choose the edge slide and then slide it, and then properly arrange those lines in terms of spacing is concerned. Okay, I select this one, I press Ctrl B and then drag it, and then adds that 3 lines. And then what you can do is you can select these 2 points here and then slide edge. Okay, and then that moves this point a little bit far like that. And the most important thing when you're doing this kind of work, make sure that the spacing is almost equal. Gradually they change their spacing. So I've got the lines on this side here. Now I select the lines on the opposite side till here, and then press E and then extrude it like that. So I select the edge component and then press E and then extrude those points there, maybe up to here, and then move the point, then press E and then move the point till there, and then select these points and then merge it to the center, and then 1 2 3 4 select those points and press F to fill those points. I press Ctrl R, and then you could able to see I'm able to add the line, but actually I'm going to use the knife tool and then select that vertex point like that. So almost I've got the points, but there are some lines which are pretty sharp, so I need to take care of those points also. So I select this line here, select this line here, and press Ctrl B and then drag it like that. So I'm adding at least 3 lines there. That adds the crease at this particular point, and this will end up in some mesh related issues maybe at this particular point. I select this face and then delete the face completely, and then select these 2 vertex, delete those vertices, sorry, dissolve those vertices, and then that should generally fix those issue at that corner. And also we have a crease line at this particular point. So let me select Control B and then drag it. So delete those faces which we have here. So I've got all lines here all around, and here also I've got this place where I can add the crease. Okay, that looks good at this point. So I've got all those lines which I believe to be having that creases. Okay, so here I don't want that crease to happen. I only select one edge or maybe vertex. So press G and then G. Press G and then G. So you should be able to see here I'm avoiding that sharp line which generally builds up there. So yeah, good to go. Now I'm going to select these points here which are going to be thick in comparison with the edges. So select all those points. Okay, yeah, these points also, and then I press now I should be able to see this is created at the cursor. I didn't check the cursor is at this point, so that's good. I've seen this at this particular point. I move the cursor back to the world origin and then select the model and then snap it to the grid, which generally happened because I accidentally moved the cursor somewhere. So that's good to fix. Now I press I switch off the snap, press G and then Z and then move it above the thickness of the blade there. So it brings up all these points. Now select these points here which has to be moved. So I'm going to select and then move to the angle. That's something again important. Now here I'm going to select this border and press E and then Z and then move it. I go to the side view and then enable the grid snap and then move it to that level. Once that is done, I press Ctrl R and then add the line there. Okay, so that adds the crease along that particular hole there. Now once that is done, I need to add a line which runs across the border here. So I press Ctrl R and then I make sure that this is at the border here. I press Ctrl R, or if I don't do that, this will turn to be a round. That also looks good. Let's keep it sharp only. Okay, here this line has to be connected, so I press K and then start connecting those lines there. Okay, so all the borders are now well connected, and the only thing is I need to apply mirror modifier, and once the mirror modifier is applied in the Z axis, and I need to select and then apply it. So the vertex points are merged. Okay, so I've isolated this model by selecting this forward slash, and then this hole has to be filled. So I'm going to select the vertex component. I select only 2 points here on the top and 2 points on the bottom, press F. Then select only the 2 points, one on the top, one on the bottom, press F, and then start filling those points until it's filled correctly. Now once that is done, I press Ctrl R to add the loop at this particular point, and you get this. Now press Ctrl 3 just to have a look on the handle. How is this actually visible in terms of shading is concerned? And then bring back your forward slash and then see how you're going to match this one. So the points has to be penetrated here, okay, into the blade. Now I can use the scale tool, slightly scale in both the axes there. Okay, that has to be penetrated. If anywhere you feel that penetration is not happening, so you just try to fix it like that. So I just go few steps back here because The problem was like I need to press Shift Z to select, because in the shaded mode it doesn't select the backside faces. That's something I need to take care of. That's something bit special about Blender. So you should see I couldn't select those points. So once we penetrate it, you get a nice connection there. Okay. You can press Control R and add one more line there. So to get that a sharp line on this side. So just go a bit minute in this case to handle it in a better way. And this is what we have. I'll just enable the wireframe mode here, and then you should be able to see the way this model is turned into. So it looks pretty sharp, and also has got that volume thickness on the other side of the model. So later you can assign your shaders and then do the basic lighting and rendering to get the look and feel. In terms of materials are concerned, texturing can be done only after the UV unwrapping and that stuff. So I hope this tutorial has helped in building a simple asset in Blender in terms of modeling. I try to adopt the easiest way possible in terms of loops and polyflow is concerned. If you like the video, hit the like button and subscribe my channel. And if you got any questions, please ask me in the comment section. Thank you very much.